Okay, in this video 4 of our series, we're going to cover some different subjects. Here we got late summer dog work. Setting conditions in summer with all the green plants is not the same. Here you don't have a lot of wind, and all that green masks the scent. So you'll see our young dog, he had to be relocated. He had to relocate that point and find that bird. Okay, here our young pheasant takes off running at full speed. Notice, even with all that, the young dog doesn't break. But later we'll show some clips where he does break. An exercise you should try to expose your dog to is getting into multiple birds. For most of you, this is difficult, supplying multiple birds for your dog. But it's a good idea to try to expose them to this before you get out to places like Iowa, Kansas, South Dakota, where you're going to run into sometimes large groups of birds. It's hard for a young dog to control himself in these situations because there's such a massive amount of scent and there's birds getting up everywhere. So the dog, even with all the training, has a tendency to want to run wild. It's a good idea long before this to try to prepare your dog for this by doing multiple retrieves with dummies. I'm shooting these birds because the young dog is not running wild bumping them, but rather I'm flushing these birds. Another good exercise to practice with your dog is switching. Throw a dummy for your dog, and while he's returning from the first retrieve, throw another dummy. A dog has a tendency to want to run for the last object down. Don't let him switch, but rather make him retrieve the first object first.
4 birds, man. 1 miss, 3 and a triple. Yep.
Again, I do not let the young dog run wild making these retrieves, but rather call him to my side and send him for the retrieves individually.
Hey, that bird. That's it. Good boy. Yeah. Good.
Most of the time, he'll want to drop that first object and run for the second one. Here, notice our young dog is moving. He's not fully breaking, but he's moving from his original position. He must be returned to his original position. Tolerating this partial breaking is going to lead to full breaking later on. It's even not a bad idea to not let the dog make the retrieves at all because he committed an offense. Here you'll see our short hair break full out. Again, I don't shoot the bird. This bird cannot be shot, but rather return the dog to his position and correct him with discipline.
Whoa. Whoa, buddy. Whoa.
Another good reason to practice these exercises is I once shot 5 quail over a single point. The quail were rising one right after the other. The dog never broke and made all 5 retrieves flawlessly because he had already been trained for exactly this situation. Here, I'm holding the young dog at whoa because there could be more birds ahead. Here our young dog bumps the bird. Absolutely do not shoot that bird. You're encouraging flushing.
Bad dog.
And again, another bump. Here are some examples of low-flying birds. That's exactly why your dog needs to be steady to wing and shot. Yet another low flyer. You could accidentally shoot the dog on this one if he was not steady. Okay, now we're going to get into some water work. It's a great way to keep your dog in shape during the heat of summer. Also, you never know when your dog's gonna have to make a water retrieve. If he's never made a water retrieve or he's water shy, good luck. You'll have to get the bird yourself. This retrieve is a long one, maybe 100 yards. Here our young dog gets into trouble but continues to look for that dummy.
He just learned something there.
Okay, he spotted it
He learned to just
and
keep
goes
on
to make the
going. Once
retrieve.
he gets out there, just keep on going no matter how far. Now he'll get him no matter what. Maybe not every time. Good boy.
In this segment, you'll see exactly what I mean. Our handler, Keith Smith, is a no-nonsense trainer. He knows how to make this young dog get the job done. He repeatedly attempts to make the dog finish the water retrieve. This young wire hair didn't actually mark the bird down, but that doesn't matter to Keith. He knows that he's got to get this job done, and he's got to make this young dog make that retrieve, or he's headed for trouble. Keith waist deep in the cold water. I guarantee he's not happy, but that doesn't matter. He knows what to do. Another fun training exercise is using wing clip ducks. This training exercise keeps young dogs interested. They have to use their wit, they have to have endurance, and they learn to use their nose around water. One of my dogs chased a duck for an hour and a half. I thought for sure the dog was going to drown. I had all my heavy clothing off and was ready to jump in and save the dog. When the dog came back with the duck was in shock, and the dog was cool and calm. Watch here as our young short hair tries to cut the duck off. A wing-clipped duck has an advantage. He can gain distance rapidly, but a dog that's persistent will win out in the end. Now we're going to start teaching our young dog tracking. This is a very important training exercise, as you'll see in the end of this segment why. You start this exercise by pulling out a few feathers, drag the dead bird a short distance, and put it in cover. Keep it short and simple. Keep the dog on a short leash to keep him under control, so he's actually tracking the bird rather than wall banging, finding the body of that bird. Start off this exercise by keeping it short and simple and an open cover. Don't start off in heavy cover. Work your way up to it. You have to keep the dog under control. You can't let him roam and drift here and there. You're trying to keep this dog straight on the scent track. All these training exercises are very important if you're trying to train a versatile hunting dog to handle all types of situations.
Good boy. Sit.
In this demonstration, we're going to show how to keep your dog from hitchhiking by using a pole to get the body of the bird scent away from your scent. A dog will hitchhike off of your scent, making a retrieve more rapidly. Using this exercise can help against this. In this way, the dog has to learn to track the scent of the subject's body.
Stay there.
Here's the demonstration. We're going to remove some hair from a rabbit's body. Now we're ready to make longer, more complicated retrieves. Drag the subject's body now through heavier cover, not in a straight line, but make the scent zig and zag, making the retrieve and track all the harder. We're zigging and zagging so that the scent trail is not in a straight line. Good job. Our dog's got it now. Here we're going to show how a dog can track across water, ice, or snow.
Fetch it! Fetch!
We're going to demonstrate here exactly why your dog needs to learn to track. While your dog is distracted on another bird, take a wing-clipped bird, throw it in the air, have your assistant fire a shot. Give that bird a little head start so that the dog, when he makes the retrieve, has to track it. Pheasants move fast, so he has to really get on that track, as you'll see here in the video.
Yeah.
Got it. Our dog makes the retrieve. In the 5th video in our series, we're going to cover backing, pointing rabbits, and some finished bird work.